Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. It's the I Be Ballin' Show. It's your girl Ashley. I Be Ballin' with the I Be Ballin' Basketball Show. You feel me? We're gonna recap March Madness. We're gonna recap the final 4 games. For the women and the men. You know, I won't be for you long. I won't be for you long, like the preacher said. March Madness is, you know, that time where everybody get their brackets out. There's a lot of upsets. Brackets be breaking, you know. March is when I'm born. Holla. So that's awesome. I want to thank everyone for liking, commenting, subscribing to my channel, you know, sharing my channel. Thank you for all of your support. And, you know, this is the show. This is the show where you get a lot of basketball recaps, basketball game stats, but you also get unique basketball shows like, you know, talking with the jockey crew, talking about the Bucks. You already know I'm a crazy Bucks fan. I mean, look at me, look at my, you know, you're gonna get unique, you know, basketball highlights. You're gonna get throwbacks. You're gonna get, you know, nothing but dopeness, nothing but fire, nothing but litty videos, you know, and it's coming from a female, and I feel like, you know, there's not enough females representing us, so, you know, support all of the women podcasts and basketball shows out there, you know, and, you know, I'm gonna have a lot of more in store. I'm gonna do, WNBA videos coming soon. Well, without further ado, let me get right into it. So it was Iowa versus South Carolina. And man, have you ever heard of Caitlinclark? She showed out. She showed out. She had a triple double, a 40-point triple double. Who does that? She's the National Player of the Year. Basically, what Iowa did to beat South Carolina, the reigning champs, right? They clogged the paint against their bigs. There was a Iowa defender in front and behind the bigs. And I'm like, this is like 3 seconds, isn't it? And I'm like, do they call 3 seconds in women's college basketball? I guess not. In Boston, Aaliyah Boston, great player. She's going to be the number 1 pick, in my opinion. She was in foul trouble. And South Carolina didn't do enough to knock down shots. I was leaving at least 2 people open from the 3-point line, and they didn't knock enough of those shots down. And the Hawkeyes, you know, they basically, Clark, she scores a lot from them. You know, a lot of people be excited because she scores from the logo, but she also assists a lot of her players because a lot of those players aren't shot creators. So they did a lot of pick and rolls, and they was finding holes in the South Carolina defense. You know, a lot of teammates cutting to the rim. Monica had 10 points. But basically, also 38-point paints in the paint. And that's actually supposed to be the other way around. South Carolina, their tall bigs are supposed to be scoring in the paint. But it couldn't do that. And I feel like there wasn't enough adjustments. And I feel like they threw a lot of defenders at Clark, but I feel like you got to get the ball out of her hands, force her to make 2-point shots instead of 3-point shots. Nobody on that team can create their own shot. So I feel like it should have, you know, got the ball out of hands more, but that leaves teammates open to shoot threes. So maybe that's why. Cook was balling out. She had 24 points. She actually played like the whole game. And let's see who else. Cardoza, she did good with the offensive glass, but I think Boston being out of rhythm for getting in foul trouble really hurt them. something I want to bring up is Boston was covering her face while she was crying. Also, her other teammates was crying, and she was covering their faces. I feel like, obviously, you guys may know about the Boston situation where, when she had lost a couple years ago, her crying face was everywhere over the internet. And I feel like that's sort of like trauma. That's sort of like PTSD, where you're automatically triggered and hiding your face because you don't want that to happen to you or anybody else. And I feel like the media, obviously fans too, are the blame of that. Like, she really cares for the game. Just because someone cries, it could be an ugly cry. Kind of like Joel Embiid when he lost and people was laughing at him for making an ugly cry. And I just feel like the media really gotta, do a better job. And fans, if you ever played ball, you know how emotional it can be. So I think we need to all do a better job at that. I'm gonna talk about the other Final Four games. LSU versus Virginia Tech. Obviously, Angel Reese, the Barbie doll, the Bayou Barbie, she did her thing. She was balling. I think what LSU did was in the fourth quarter they buckled down defensively. They didn't have a turnover in the fourth quarter. They was doing their thing. Reese had like 24 points, a double-double, as always, right? She's the double-double queen. She had 12 rebounds. It was like her 33rd triple-double. Double-double, which is history, obviously. Morris, she had 27 points. I think what hurt Virginia Tech was their 2 and 3 zone. It No, actually, Virginia Tech is the one that did the 2-3 zone that actually made LSU struggle, and that's why the game was so close. But then they buckled down on defense. Virginia Tech, there's this girl named Kitley, I think her name is. She was balling that game. She had 17 points. What else? Oh, she had set a record. Let me see. A record for the most made in single tournament. She had the most made threes, which is shocking. I thought Clark would have done it. Trailer had 17 points, 9 rebounds. King had 14, but ultimately the difference was defense. LSU was struggling with the 2-3 zone, but once you see it a couple times, it's like once you see it a couple times, you find holes. And Kim probably wasn't having it. She probably taught them how to break the 2-3 zone defense. But I'm gonna talk about the final game now. It's the final countdown. And I'm also gonna talk about the Clark versus Reese situation. Get ready to rumble. Okay, I'm just playing. So the Tigers, they ended up having, it was a 102-85 score. They ended up having the most points, in tournament in a title game, and that's big. I think Iowa fans would say, they didn't get enough contribution, which they didn't. They didn't get enough contribution, with their bench and starters. Obviously, foul trouble hurt them. Clark was in foul trouble. I think she had a technical as well for throwing the ball, which I'm like, that's a petty technical. Like, it's an emotional game. Refs, have you ever played basketball? I hope you have. She was just frustrated, right? So don't give her a tech for that. So that was kind of bogus. But right out the gate, LSU was bombing threes. Bing, bing, bada boom, boom. Bing, bada boom. Jasmine Carson had like 21 points she was shooting that thing. She was like, yeah, I don't care if Clark's guarding me. I'ma shoot this. You know what I mean? Alex Morrison was a great defender on Clark. She did a great job defending Clark. She also had 16 points like in the first half. Angel Reese did have a double-double, but she wasn't the best player in the game. But she was the MVP of the tournament. Flage, she can ball and rap. You heard? She can ball and rap. You heard? Yeah. Go listen to Flage. But on the court, she was great. She got a steal and an and one. She hit a 3 early on, so I think that really helped her confidence. Clark had 30 points, and it seems like, hey, if you have 30 points and 8 assists, 7 rebounds or something like that, you think like, hey, we're winning the game. You think she's not struggling, but they did a great job on her. But even then, I felt like they should have got the ball out of her hands more because no one else can create on their team. Monica, they're a great big. She's a great screen setter. She had fouled out of the whole game. She did. She was probably the second best player in my opinion. But also, it seemed like Iowa was coming back. They had cut the lead down to 11, and Clark had like 9 points, and they all came from threes. She was dope. But I think the problem is the 3-point shooting. The shooting. You're never going to beat a team that is launching from deep and making it at an all-time high. Let me see. They hit 10 threes. They was shooting 54% from the field, probably even higher from the 3-point line. And so you're not gonna win many games, especially if Iowa, didn't rain threes themselves. LSU is defense, Iowa is offense. They didn't have a great game offensively, and that would have helped them. But the others didn't come through, and Clark needs more help. LSU won the rebounding battle as well. Reese was doing her thing, getting offensive rebounds. Let's see. They had a 36-26 battle, and they had 14 offensive rebounds. 14. That is too many. 14 second chance points as well. You're not going to win the game if you don't rebound. That's a big thing. Right? And they were shooting like 76% from 3. And Kimmulkey, that's her name, Mulkey, she can coach her butt off. The team was ready. And Morris also had 9 assists. She was cooking as well. She had 24 points, and she was guarding Clark. She was like two-way player. Okay. Right? Here's what I'm going to talk about. You can't see me. What the ring? Well, you can't see me. I should have pulled out my Bucks championship ring for this. But anyway, here's the thing. Clark did You Can't See Me, John Cena, a couple of games ago. It might have been against Louisville. And she did that toward her teammates. Angel Reese, a lot of people were calling her classless because she was following around Clark, doing this, like, we got the ring. Some people even didn't like the fact that she painted a fake ring on there. It's like people don't have lives and they worried about whatever you're doing. Who cares if she paints a fake ring on? She was following Clark around. She was doing this. A lot of people was calling her an idiot, classless. And she was being called too hood, too ghetto before. But she's unapologetically her, and she's just doing her. And I don't understand. It's like when Clark did it, no one cared, right? They called it competitive. But when Reese did it, oh, that's not good for the sport. Some people want to make it a white and black thing. Race does, it does involve race, right? The white girl does it, but people are like, but she did it toward her teammates. It doesn't matter. She still did it. Whenever you do this, you can't see me. That means the other team can't see her, which is true. They couldn't, right? Reese did it back. They're like, she's a sore winner. So you know, they was they won the game basically. And people are like, she's a poor sport. She's rubbing it in. That's what you're supposed to do in sports. Haven't you ever played sports? There's a lot of trash talk. There's a lot of taunting. There's a lot of, oh, I rocked the baby. Yeah, you a baby. Yeah, you too short. Players be doing like this. You're too short. It happens all the time. And it seems like when men do it, it's like, yeah, they flexing on them. Yeah, that's awesome. NFL players, NBA players, they do it all the time. But it's like women, oh, we gotta be, girly and, be polite. No, they're competitors too. They're playing the same sport. Why can't they do that? And Clark went on like ESPN and said she had no problem with what Reese did, and saying that she didn't deserve the criticism. But people still was criticizing her in the DM. Class was trending, all of that. But Reese was like, I'm just gonna be me. And I just feel like with women, and obviously if you're a different color, it's like people expectations are different. It's a double standard. And it's like, bro, this is a sport. Let's not take it that serious. I'm pretty sure off the court they would be great friends. Who knows? They might get drafted to the same team one day, and they'll be like it never happened. If Clark doesn't have a problem with it, why should we have a problem with it? And I feel like it is good for the sport. The basketball, football, it's an emotional game, and I'm like, come on, guys. This is supposed to be about growing the women's game. It's supposed to be about, wow, Clark in Iowa made it this far. Clark, she's making people watch. She's shooting like Curry from, half court, and she's dishing and swishing, right? Reese, double double, she had a 34 double doubles, and they had 34 wins. That's history. We should be excited for these two women, excited for these two programs. But no, we want to turn it into a race battle. We want to turn it into a women shouldn't be doing this battle. Oh, no showboating. That's what the sport is all about. And if you win, you have every reason, every reason to do it because you won. So I don't understand it. Let's just enjoy the sport and these women. Why you gotta, take the attention off of the win and the progress we're making in the women's game? Like, come on now. But that's the end of my rant. Word on the beat, word on the beat, word on the beat. I'm about to transition to the men. Final four. You feel me? Final four. You feel me? Let's go to the men. And guess what? I'm pretty sure a lot of men was like, in your face, stuff like that. Also, when you dunk on a player, people do this. Some people quiet the crowd like this. That's all about the sport. This is 2023. This is the 21st century, let's, come on guys. But there was a lot of Cinderella teams, and the Florida Atlanticowls, owls, that's my best owl voice. That's my best owl voice, I'm sorry. But there was a great buzzer beater. I love buzzer beaters. I love close games. I love buzzer beaters. I love game winners. Lamont Butler. I was watching the game, and he was bringing it down the court, and he was dribbling to the baseline, and it was like he was dribbling in a circle, but I think he was just trying to find his spot, and I was like, you gotta shoot it before timer now, and I think he was just trying to get to his sweet spot. Sweet mid-range. The crowd goes wild. So, okay. So, this game was the Owls versus the Aztecs, right? San Diego State Aztecs. The Owls had a 14-point lead. They blew it. Blew the lead to the Aztecs. They came back and won at a buzzer. Good job, Butler. Good job, Butler. Right? The forward, I'm gonna pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Adama Sanogo. Alright? Had 21 points. Okay? I'm sorry. UCONN beat Miami. I'm sorry, Hurricanes. You didn't blow Hurricanes against the Huskies. I'm sorry. UCONN blew out pretty much every team they faced. And I'm like, wow, that is tough to do. Like, not only are you winning, you're blowing every opponent out. That is tough to do. Oh, and before I move on, the women's Final Four tickets were through the roof, like 200, right? You could watch a men's Final Four game for like $42. I saw the chart and I was like, wow. And people be like, women shouldn't be playing basketball. It's not a real sport. Well, numbers don't lie. Money don't lie. Come on, man. But anyway, I'm going to go to the Aztecs versus UConn, right? Do you guys remember what I just said a minute ago? UConn blows out pretty much every team they faced, won by double digits. Well, that's what happened. They led the whole way because of their length. The problem is the Aztecs, they couldn't score in the paint because of the length, and they couldn't knock down perimeter shots. If you're not scoring in the paint and you're missing from out deep, it's going to be a long night, and it was a long night, alright? But the Aztecs had like a 9-0 run. They were like down 5. And I'm like, yeah, this is a game now. This is what a championship game is. It's close now. It didn't happen. They didn't. They was only down by 5. But then UConn won by double digits again. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, we want to see a close game, but UConn like, yo, I don't care if we win by double digits. Let's get this 5th national title. The most outstanding player was, I'm just gonna say what I said again. Adama Sanogo. I hope I pronounced that right. But he was balling, obviously, throughout the whole tournament, and he had 17 points, 10 rebounds. And Tristan Newton had 19 points and 10 rebounds. But what I'm gonna say is, what I forgot to say is Angel Reese had a cousin on UCONN and they both won national titles. And I think that is tremendous. That is, I didn't know that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Jordan Hawkins finished with 16 points. That might have been Angel Reese's cousin. That might have been. For San Diego State Aztecs, I love the name Aztecs. Keshad, no, is it Keshad or Keshad? Well, he had 14 points. I'm just gonna call you KJ. But he only shot 33%. They wasn't shooting very well, and that's how they dug themselves in the hole. They wasn't shooting well in the paint and outside the paint. They was shooting 29% in the first half. It was nothing but bricks. But the fact that they actually cut it down by 5, I was like, yay, it's a game, because I hate watching blowouts. I'm like, come on. You know, even if you wanted UConn to win, you're still like, come on, make this a game. At least make it close so we can have some fun. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to my, March Madness. My team lost. No. No, the horror. I also want to congratulate Marquette. You didn't make it that far, but at least you're Big East champions. Go Marquette. Go Shaka Smart. I gotta throw that in there. Also, Dawn Staley, she made a statement about saying about her South Carolina team, hearing people talk negatively about her team. And she's like, I hear you. I see you. I know who you are. We are not dogs. We are not thugs. People describe South Carolina as, tall and physical, when the other teams are skilled. The Gamecocks are skilled too. You're just looking at the physical attributes. They're skilled too. It's like Giannis. Like, I get it. He's big and tall, and he dominates in the paint. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have skill. If you're a Finals MVP and a 2-time MVP, DPOY, Most Improved Player, you have skill. And the crazy thing about Don's statement was saying they're not thugs, right? The next day they criticizing Reese. I'm like, come on. Let's let this be about the game only. Let's stop describing the black players as thugs and negative adjectives, right? Let's stop doing that. And their white teammates and their white coaches, they gotta step up to the plate and be like, no, this is not right. Instead of just staying silent as well. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I love March Madness. I love Final Fours, the Elite Eight, the Sweet 16, all of that, because it's like the teams that you didn't think would win. And a lot of the teams that you think are going to be there at the end, sometimes they're not at the end. It's unpredictable, and that's why I love it. And it's the month of my birthday. Go Pisces. Go Pisces. Go Pisces. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for listening on my podcast and watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button before the video ends. Hit it now. Just go smash it, kill it. Smash that subscribe button. Subscribe for the vibes. Subscribe for more basketball content. Hey, it's gonna be well time spent. Hey, and I'm out. Ashley, I'll be ballin'. Peace. Also, look forward to a video about Giannis and how he is my MVP and how he should be yours too. Peace. I be ballin'. And I'm out.